Thank you for joining me on this project. I have this little chair, so let's get on with it. I started pulling this in and putting the buttons on, but I really don't like the way the buttons look, so I'm going to take it all out and start again. And that's fine because I've already done that with the arms. I've just centered across the back here. I'm going to put this here and staple it, fold it down and do it again all the way along. I'm going to bring a separate one on this side and on the other side in a minute. Now I've fed it up on the inside of the wadding but the outside of the hessian that's already there. Pop this here, force that through there like that, rest that on there and pull it quite tight. Now, I'm worried because I have screws here, so I'm going to have to secure it on this side of that joint. Readjust a couple of times maybe. There we go. I think that might have it. And pull it and then secure. I'm not pulling it too tight, not as tight as I'd like. Well, maybe I could. There we go. And I'll cut that like that. I'm going to secure it on this side as well and then fold it over the top. Bring that back over, staple it into place, and then I'll open up either side and do exactly the same as I've just done here. When you put the webbing on, you center the first one from the inside here on, and then it's midway point top and bottom from this, which is the structure, to the outside edge of the other one, so it's taut. Now when I do that, it actually seems to have stabilized the chair a little bit more, so maybe this was part of its problem. I have doubled this piece of fabric over. I'm going to pop it in here as high up as I can and into the support here and on this side. That's as far as I want it to go. I'm going to have to push this all the way through to the back, but I'll do that in a minute. I'll secure the top and the sides first. With this one, I'm just going to cut in like this. Because it goes around, I need to cut that quite close to the front there. Otherwise it's not going to come into place. Down, around and up and secure. What I've done here is centered the foam between these points here. I've pushed it down into the back of the chair because I want that to go under, and I'm going to cut it into this shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should come down here in a straightish line. I've got to be careful not to cut anything that I don't need to cut, like the inside arm. There we go, that'll do there. Pop that down there. That looks okay. And the same on this side, just cut down all the way down. I'm hoping this works because this chair's driving me nuts. A little ways above the top of the wood because I need to staple that in. Some projects are going to be like that for you. You're going to do something and have to pull it out and do it again and pull it out, and that's what I've had to do here. Just like I did on the inside here of the arms, I'm going to staple it all the way down there so it's nice and smooth along the top, and a couple of staples in on the side here just to hold it. So I've got all of this in here. It feels firmer. It won't matter that I stop the foam here because that's going to come in and hide that. And the same on this side. There's a little ridge, but nobody's leaning on that part, so I think I'll be fine. Fold that in just a little bit better so it's smooth and into place. Again, to make sure that the colour is neutral, all I need this one to do is be pulled into place. It's such a fine fabric that if it is wrinkled, nobody's going to feel that against them. There's a problem. Now that I've adjusted the inside back, I now have to add fabric all the way across the bottom here because it doesn't pull down. It pulled down originally to here, but with the added padding it's taken it up. So I'm going to add fabric along the bottom and then start again. I've recentered the fabric there, which I'm going to bring down on my centre mark here. I'm going to bring it to the base like I had, and I'm hoping that that keeps everything in line. Because I've adjusted the front, it might mean I have to adjust the back. Do that on either side. Bring that down here and here on either side of that stripe. I might have to adjust along here, but I'll do that as and when I get to it. So it's a case of adjusting, pulling it in, adjusting and pulling it in. What I've done is I've added the fabric here, I sewed it in and then I top stitched it, so there should be plenty of strength there when I pull everything in. In the meantime, I'm going to pull this down, line it up with the stripes at the bottom like this as best I can, and poke that through to the back. Hopefully as I pull it round it should straighten up. Now I need to remember that there are uprights here that I have to cut into. I'm not worried about those just yet. I'm just pulling that in. I'm hoping third time lucky gets this into place. I am a little bit worried because I ended up cutting these back so that I could work out where everything was going, and this side is really tight, although I did have the centre of this in the centre of the back. I'm just going to have to be really careful when I'm pulling this side in. This side has plenty. Maybe I should measure from the outside to there and work out where the exact middle is. I'm going to measure down 9.5 inches to here from the outside back down, and I'll put a pin in. I've measured across here the width of there 7 2/8, so I've put the centre mark 9.5 down by 3 6/8, so that's right in the middle there. I measure down from the top to 4 inches and come across there, 4 inches to the outside of this stripe here, which is 11 inches. So if I measure down from here, top of here to here, and I'm just going to have to make sure that that on here is 11 inches, but it's 12. So I really should bring it over, but I can't bring it over because I'm going to be messing there. Maybe it will look even. I'm just going to have to take an executive decision and just put the button straight through to the back, regardless of whether it's absolutely centre or not. Otherwise I'm going to drive myself crazy. And then I'll measure out either side here and then start pulling everything back in on either side. This is how I cover my buttons. I always use the buttons with the teeth. That's the ones I prefer. I'm going to cut around in a circle with a wider diameter than the button that I'm covering. It does come with a guide so you can cut it to there, but I'm so used to doing these, I do it this way. And then all you have to do is pull it over and catch it under the teeth like that. This is just to show you how I do these buttons. When I've got a white fabric, I actually put a liner underneath to help prevent the shine of the button from showing through. This is quite a thick weave, so it's not necessarily going to come through, but if you've got a fine fabric, then that's something you need to consider doing. It takes a little while to get everything where you want it. Sometimes it takes me a couple of times to get round. I usually do one side to the other, but this one seems to want to come off. Go back, push that under, go back, push that under. There we go. And then I'm going to come around this side and do the same thing. Make sure it's tight under those teeth, especially if you've got a thick fabric, because when you come to put the top on, it sometimes doesn't want to go on. And that just means that there's no pleats on the side. You just have to make sure that that is smooth like that. And then all you do is you line the groove up with the loop that's in there and push it on down into place. Now the reason I am using this as a guide is because I ended up putting bigger buttons on than this. So as I say, that's how you do it. I'm going to put this through where the top of there is, all the way through to the back in as straight a line as I possibly can. I've looped the thread around the shank. I'm just going to pull it in and tie it off, but not too tight, enough to hold it into position. You can use fabric, you can use whatever you want. This is a little bit of cotton wadding. I've tied it around, bringing it up to the centre, and I'm just going to catch it here. I really don't like doing it on the outside of here, but I'm going to put them in, and if I have to adjust them, I will, because I prefer this fabric to come over the top. So I've put my buttons in. I'm starting to pull this in here. I've cut the fabric back against here so that it will come in, and I need to bring this down and into place. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut across here, and then I've got a little bit of give, and I'm not going to come across, I'm going to come down like that. See, if I do that, the fabric starts to open up, so I'm going to come to about 1 inch up and out so it's not too tight. This should be nice and tight and pulled in. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to cut down here, get rid of some of this extra fabric here because I don't need it. Now the reason is this fabric is going to go in behind there like that, but I need to pull in the bottom here before I start pulling in across the top. It really is trial and error. I'm going to just bring this down and partially into shape. I'm just going to kind of cut in at an angle, not too close because I'm going to have to alter it anyway. Line all of that up. I'm going to cut down like this, also at a bit of an angle, but right out from that corner. I'm going to see if I need to reshape here slightly to go in at the leg, which I think I have to. A little bit in at that angle and at that angle, but not too much because I'm going to have to turn that up, I think. And the other thing I need to do is actually remove this because I need a longer piece on there. I know that because I've already put the other side in and I had to hand sew this across. It's a bit of a pain, but sometimes you have to alter things as you go. It's just that this twisted up as I was pulling the top in, and I could either add another piece down here or just cut this off at the seam and add another piece on, which is what I'm going to do. That's going to take me a little minute to get done. I'm going to just take the lining, cut across like that and down again, because that's going to tuck in behind the fold here. It's just to kind of smooth it out slightly. Now this, I'm going to pull that out. Both sides seem to be different, which is really, really annoying, but that's the way it goes. I'm going to come in a little bit further into that corner like that, pull that out so that's a little bit more rounded, and I am going to staple this a little bit further down and into shape, just like I have along here. I'm trying to make sure that this stripe stays straight, which is a little bit awkward because of the shaping of the chair. I'm going to come in and make some cuts, not too close, like long fingers, just a couple. I need to be able to push the fabric behind and into place, and it just takes a little minute to pull everything in. This piece that I've just sewn on needs to be pushed all the way down and under the side of the arm of the chair like this, and I'm hoping that it will pull in nicely. And I say nicely because a lot of things on this chair just don't really want to work out, and one side usually goes in better than the other. And I know a poor workman blames his tools, but sometimes it doesn't matter how you try, things don't go in as well as they could. Cut some of that off like that because that's not going to attach to anything. I'm going to have to work on this so it comes in a little bit neater than that. It's not going to be perfect because of the shaping, but I think it could be a little bit better than what's coming in at the moment. A little bit more of a nip here and a little bit more of a nip on this one, and now I've just got to work on here to bring it in such a way that it doesn't look so bad. I have to match it to the other side and then work on bringing this in at the bottom. It's a little bit wrinkly on the other side, so I don't think I'm going to get it perfect. It really depends on how I can bring that extra piece of fabric in at the bottom, and at the moment it's all crossed over and going in funky directions, so that's not going to be any use. Twist all of that in, and it's quite tight at the bottom here, so maybe that's it. That's a bit better. I think I'm going to have to just work on this. Pull this piece in here like that. That might just help this corner go in. I think there's enough padding on the other side. I'm just going to have to alter the padding on this side to make sure it goes in, and it might alter when I pull up here to there. That's what I'm going to be working on for the next few minutes. The back here, if I had pleated it, would just be a mass of flowers, which wouldn't be a problem as such, but it would have detracted from the white stripe going into the back. So doing it this way did even the back and the front out It didn't quite go in at the back as I'd like, but that's mainly because there wasn't anything to pull it to, and also the fabric is quite firm, which means it's not going to have very much give. A looser weave fabric would have gone in a lot better. I think it turned out really nice. This will hold itself. All I've done is poke the fabric back, cut in as I showed you. I think that's good. Thank you for joining me on this project. I will say this project actually kicked my butt. Not just downhill, around the corner and back up again. It was quite an involved project, to say the least. I decided not to put extra trim around the legs. I thought it was too much. I've tried lining everything up as best I could. I do feel that this is slightly crooked, but that just might be me and the way the flowers come down on that side and the way they are on this side. I'm sure it all evens out. It's just me being a bit pedantic. I only put double piping on a couple of areas. Feel less is more, and I think it's turned out really, really gorgeous. I hope my friend's going to like it. If you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button. A few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.